Hey everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you can hear me okay. Ooh. Just give me a second. Anyway, how's everyone doing? How's the chat? How are you all? Where are we? Alright, better select a bike. Hey, thanks for joining so early before the hype begins. Let's see here. Need to get you chat up on here so I can see, otherwise I won't be able to see you. Be devastating when you're shouting at me. Alright, let's go into a garage. Pick a bicycle. Obviously going to be time trial bicycle. Let me know in the chat, is a time trial your favorite type of race? If not, why? Change me jersey. And I probably need my air helmet. Full TT. Full time trial. Okay.
Bobcat Gallery.
Whoop. We don't want the advert. Go away. Okay. Join event. Hey Griff, Matthias, Doms, Emma, Phil, Jesse, Niall. Is that new? There's like an emoji on the side of the screen there. In the chat. That's new, right? Strange. Alright. TT. Say hello to all the locals tomorrow, Philip, because do you know the Saturday group ride gang? They're all out on Saclobra tomorrow. They're there this week at the same time as you. So Paul, who you were riding with me the other week, he's gonna be. So you might even bump into him on the climb. But any tips for Saclobra? Well, you certainly need to conserve in the first 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes also seem to be the shallowest and less affected by the wind. So think think hoods, think being tucked in, although you might not be going, 15 mile an hour or whatever. Think conservative and think like small, like think little Pocky Rocket Remco for the first 10 minutes on those little shallower gradients. Obviously watch out for people at the bottom, because you might be overtaking people quite fast, no joke. And then don't be fooled into thinking you're nearly at the top when you can start to see that corkscrew, because it is a fair way even from there. So be patient. It's still like a good 2 minutes. So in theory you could go flat out from the corkscrew to the top. 2 minutes, empty the tank. Oh, my saddle's come loose. Glad I spotted that now. It's because I sit on the nose so much, I think. The sound of a bolt needing a little bit of lubricant on it. Apologies for that. Two things you learn in life. One, saddle bolt. Always make sure that it's lubed. And your pedals and your seat post, because if any of those seize up, then you're stuffed. Yeah, Jesse's in this race. Nels here as well. I'm hopefully, evening Ian, thanks for joining. We should be over in about 25 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. Looking to empty the tank here, see what I can do. I don't really know what I can do, so a little bit of guesswork involved, but excited to lay down a benchmark for what I can try and hopefully beat in the coming weeks and months. I may even do more of this, more of these evening time trials, if my body allows, because I usually do them outside on the road, but at a local club time trial, so we'll see if doing them indoors also helps. So it's 19 kilometers, so it's a fair way. So we'll see. There's also a little climb on this one. And don't we love a climb? So we've done long efforts, it's time to see what you can do over a little bit of a short one. First few minutes always the hardest. Hey James. Hey, bud. Amazing time on Cyclist. Tell everyone in the chat. Well done, young man. Yeah, this is comfortable so far. So it should be. Hey Benji! You know, tell me. Good job, man. Thank you, Ian. Helps by training difficulty, obviously. Nice work, Jesse. Okay. Here we go. Cheers, Tom. Heart rate is actually dropping. Mad. Hey, Mason. Oh, that was that last like 4 kilometers. That was very, very hard. Probably because of how much I left in the tank at the end. I probably could have gone harder earlier. But there's still a lot of kind of educated guesswork as to what I can sustain for these shorter efforts, because at the minute I'm only actually training like long efforts, so this is relatively short, you know, as daft as that sounds, but probably could have gone harder in that first 5 minutes, looking at how hard I went in the final 5 minutes. Thank you. As you all know, you know, those who've been around for a long time, like over a year probably, like you'll know why that heart rate drops so fast. It's just, you know, it's personal to everybody, but also, you know, it does generally come down to that efficiency and everything else. So, you know, my advice would be keep going, and you know, you'll notice similar things hopefully in your cycling journey. But it's a good marker for a lot of things, you know, a quick heart rate recovery like that. But not forgetting, it's just good for general health, right? Like not just for cycling, it's just good for general health. We hope. Thank you, Keith. Textbook pace management. Thank you. The heart rate dip, I think. Do you know when I start to like really tense and grip the bars, I think it just like throws the heart rate sensor off a little bit. I think that's all it is, to be honest. Hey, thank you, Jesse. Hey, thank you for that carrot. Niall is there as well, but yeah, like where I caught you was like just at the bottom of that climb, and yeah, I hope you had a good ride as well. But I think, yeah, makes repeated efforts easier to. I want to get rid of this heart emoji thing that's appearing in the bottom right hand side of my chat. It's really annoying because it's covering half of the message. I don't know if it's on your screens as well, those of you who are on mobile. But yeah, it certainly helps with recovering for multiple efforts. I think it's a new FTP, or, you know, I mean, at least if you use, you know, a 20-minute, 25-minute effort to judge that, but Zwift is probably going to give me a new FTP now, so let's have a look at that. So, wow, I actually did. I mean, you could. Alright, we'll get into. Oh my word. Oh. I'm taking that. I know we're on the V6, the Kickr V6 as opposed to my old Kickr. This one probably overreads a little bit versus that one, I mean. But still, I'm taking that. I don't care. It's not overreading by 30 watts. So if it's only overreading by like 6 or 7, I'm taking it. We'll get into a little bit of chat about my effort pacing in a second. I just want to keep up with you guys over here who are typing. Jesse, 350 watts for the TT is pretty good for me. Happy, awesome. James, nice everybody. I hope your 20-minute test goes really well. Just 2 watts off your best. Oh, we're in the same bracket there, Jesse. So yeah, okay. So Niall's asking, what is your volume load like this week, TSS? It's lower than last week. Last week was around 800. This week is lower. I've been like struggling with motivation, if I'm honest, at the start of this week. I won't be struggling tomorrow, but or this weekend for motivation. And next week's weather looks good, so that's I'm kind of holding myself out, hoping I'll come around. But we all have little peaks and troughs, and hopefully it just passes in a couple of days. But real talk, like motivation is, it doesn't come every day really easy. Like days like this now, obviously I'm really hyped, obviously, but it's not the same every single day. But let's have a look at this then really quickly. So the pacing, so 56 TSS for 25 minutes. It's a new FTP. Ta-da! But let's take a look at the actual graph itself, because I want to talk very quickly about how I paced it based on the climb and then the descent, because it's difficult, you know, when you've got a climb, especially one that's significant, which I would say this one is, right? Like the type of climb we had was severe enough gradient that you could potentially, you know, lose 10 or 20 seconds or gain, you know, 10 or 20 seconds if you ride it conservatively. So I wasn't so much focusing on pushing more there, but I was focusing more on what would happen after that climb. So the rolling road over the top and then the very quick descent. So if a descent is quite short and quick, generally you can get away with doing like quite a bit less power. But if a descent is more gradual, and you know, takes, you know, 1-2 minutes maybe to get down, then I wouldn't back off as much. I would maybe go from, you know, if I'm holding, you know, 360 watts, I'd maybe come down to 340, 330, as opposed to like really coming down to like say 200. Like, so that's my climb there, the little block of red. I'm very measured leading up to it, and then directly after that you can see it's back to virtually what we did at the start. And then coming down the descent here, and the steepest section, which is right at the end, times in really nicely with like really backing off a lot more before I then just basically redline it to the finish and producing my highest power literally within sight of the line there, 445 watts. And over a TT this length, because 25 minutes will still be relatively long for a lot of people, you know, not everybody finds, you know, a 25-minute effort easy, but not everybody finds it hard either. Personally, I find them, I think, borderline hard. If it was any longer, it would actually start to feel easier. If it's shorter, it's still manageable, but like, say for example, Hay Tour, when I won the British Hill Climb Championships in like 12 minutes, 11 minutes, that's like probably right on the edge of being very uncomfortable for me, but I can just about manage pacing an effort like that. So that was my pacing for this. And then in terms of the critical power compared to my best, I'm actually very surprised that from 15 minutes onwards to say 25 minutes, that's a new best. But saying that, you know, at the end of the day, since I've come back from, do you remember I went away about 6 or 7 weeks ago, straight after the Zwift, the esports worlds, and then I got sick and I took time off, and there was a total of 2 weeks, and then I've rebuilt back up. But basically I've just been doing volume, been averaging around about 20 hours a week. I've had about one rest week in there in those last 6 or 7 weeks. But on the whole, average about 800 TSS a week, 20 hours a week, and just trying to accumulate time at or around threshold. Predominantly at it or slightly below it, not over it at all. This is actually the first effort I've done where I've actually gone over for a prolonged period of time. In fact, this whole effort is well over. It's like 105 to 110% over potentially for 25 minutes. So, no, 105%, yeah, about 105% over. So this is like, it's no surprise that obviously, when you work around and improving your lactic threshold, or being able to work around FTP then to make it a bit more relatable to most of you, then you become stronger at not just holding it but being able to go over it. So it's funny how like sometimes it's very easy to think that to improve, at going over FTP, for example, for a prolonged period of time like this, you've got to do loads of stuff over FTP. But you'd be amazed at how much you can actually do without even going there, as long as you've got the time or the hours or and I know a lot of you don't, but I'm just sharing what I'm privileged to be able to do, and so hence why the volume and that all this work around periodization and this period of time helps me get there without having to go into that deep end, and that deep end being the VO2 max stuff and everything else. Like I'm able to get this far without even touching that stuff, and that's really it's confidence building. It's a big confidence build. So what I'll do now is this is still not, I think potentially, what is it now? It's like April. So, obviously this time last year I was in Mallorca doing Sacalobra. I'm still a little bit away, maybe another month away from being capable of doing something like that again. So, that's the problem. It takes a lot of patience to get, to that sort of level. So I always need to think so far in advance. But I think give myself another month of doing what I have been doing again and just upping it again and adjusting zones now and everything else based on what's happened tonight. Then do another block like I am doing, and then we'll really start to sharpen up and see what I can do. At the end of the day, this is just one effort as well. Like this is one 25-minute effort. It'd be great to be able to do, this is 375 watts, but if I was able to do 365 watts for 25 minutes twice. Do you know what I mean? So it gives me more scope to do more, and not just be a one hit wonder, so to speak. I leave that for the end of the year when I've got to do hill climbs and stuff. But it's really really good for endurance and for everything else for me to be able to do back-to-back effort, which is what I'm so used to doing back when I was racing. Regularly, professionally. So yeah, that is my 50 pence worth. Just catching up on the chat there. So thanks for the TT descent advice. My problem area next week is Mercury 40, I think, for the Zwift TT. About an hour long effort, new FTP last week by. Oh really? I might if I'm around for that, I might do the 1 hour TT. We'll see how things are going. We'll see how nice the weather is actually. Yeah, 100% Jesse, I get that. Short effort suit you better. Yeah, I totally agree. Solid fitness indeed, Phil. A Friday evening TT club. I can't guarantee every Friday. I'll put my hand up for a few. But don't message me every Friday to do it. I'll enter one if I can, and I'll make sure I put it in Discord, like I did this week. But I appreciate Jesse jumping in, Niall jumping in as well, of course. Thank you, Phil. James, I will try 400 by the end of the year. I mean, it's a big ask, 25 watts, but who knows, innit? Like. That's 375 for 25, so maybe we can do 380 for 380 for 20 right now. And man, how big would that be that we'd be knocking on that 400 watts for 20 minutes again? You never know. You never know. So it's great to have little goals. It's just good to give yourself little goals. But that's actually not a whole heap off what I did in the build up to Sakalobra actually. So at least that's what I'm basing. I'm comparing myself off a little bit. So yeah, all is well. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you staying around for the chat at the end as well. Always welcome. Always glad to lend a hand of some kind. Got something exciting planned tomorrow with a subscriber you know well. A video will be coming out of that probably Monday night maybe. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. It's a very hilly day out on the bike. So I'm sure you will enjoy it. So take care, everyone. Have a lovely weekend, and I hope the weather is good for you and you're having a wonderful day, few days planned. Catch you soon.